What is up?
Boy,
You already know who it is. Your boy Ace of Cross Culture, back with episode 56 of ATAS. So that's 56 of ATAS. Looks like my co-host is having a little freezy freeze right now. But we're gonna get into it. You know, technical difficulties. We're definitely used to it. Oh, okay. All right. Because you were frozen. Okay.
I know what I said. When we play it back, and then we ask, all right, what did it sound like in that first 60 seconds of episode 56? It better be me saying, it's your boy Tipsy Japan back with another episode of ATAS across time and space. Put it up.
Across time and space. Put it up. CXC.
Yeah, put it up. Yeah, boy. 1, 2, 3. Cool. That's what time it is here on this time and space. Yeah. I know. It is literally
a good freeze frame on TPC's side.
Oh, okay. I want to see what that looks like. It
looked crazy. Like it had so much hype behind it. So much hype.
Okay. Was it sound there?
No, there was no sound. All I could see was
wow. Oh man, I was digitized. I was coming through you guys. Across time and space. True.
Across time and space. You already know.
You saw Willy Wonka. Chocolate Factory. Yeah, back in the day. You know that I want to say it was like the fifth trial in Willy Wonka. It was a trial to see how, if these kids could make it to the end of the road without being giving into their not deceitful, but without being what is it? I mean, they're keeping their patience the whole time, right? They had to stay patient. They had to delay gratification. That's what it was. It was a test, every single person along the way, right? And when they got to the fifth trial, I was like, okay, this room, you'll be able to be transported from point A to B, but it's not ready for humans yet. Okay, it goes in.
Yeah. What's it called?
Vaporized.
Television room.
Yeah.
He took a huge chocolate bar and it's like, what happened to him? He's floating above our heads right now.
That dude is vaporized. He's in heaven. Yeah, I don't know.
He came back. He was just this big.
Yeah. That was the PG-13 version.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's a little scary. All right, but we're gonna jump into it. Before that, do we have any announcements? Any announcements for?
It's a brand new year.
ATAS. Oh, brand new year for you
and the whole Asian world. All right, the Chinese calendar or the lunar calendar.
Lunar? No?
Yeah, like it all starts in spring. That's the beginning of the year. Maybe this is a Japanese calendar. Yeah, Koyomi is what that's called. The Koyomi calendar, and basically April 1st, yesterday, was the beginning of the new year. And so I had a whole lot of energy yesterday to get things done. Like it feels like January 1st all over again, right? I was about to say Nuevo Año all over again.
Okay.
That's how it feels. So I put it away. There's an announcement. Yeah, you killed it last month. I said I was going to catch up. I did my best. But it wasn't no way that you were already like 100,000 steps ahead. It was like,
I got 300,000 for the month.
Am I gonna catch this dude? Yeah. Like I finished 100,000 less than you. Like literally. So congratulations. Hats off.
But you got 22,000 steps in one day.
You got 25,000 steps in one day.
Yesterday. Sorry, my bad. 25,000.
When I sent you that screenshot, it was only at 22.
The day was not over.
I hadn't taken it at the end yet. Yeah. So I was like, I'm not falling behind from the beginning, and that's the
not from the beginning.
Yeah. I'm
And not let me
declaring
catch up though.
the end from the beginning. All right.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, today 2725. That's not great. This is already noon in Tokyo, but those last 1,500, in fact, 2,000 of those I just got in the last 15 minutes. All right. So yeah, getting things
All
done.
right.
You know, that's what the new year is about. Today is about to be the first cookout.
Okay.
The first in this house, in this country. You know, very excited about that. So I'm asking folks back home, like, you know, how'd you put this together? We had this little something called jerk chicken and West Indian culture blending with the U.S. culture. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a certain way to make this jerk chicken that my uncle used to do, and then his son learned how to do it, and that's my godson. So I'm learning from him. You know, across time and space. He's teaching me in the future how to marinate something like 2 days ahead of him. And it's done. The marinating is done.
The proof is in the pudding. That's how they say it, right? Oh, dang. Super freeze frame again.
Don't do that.
Yeah, you're doing this little choppy chop. But as far as ATAS, I do have a really big announcement. And my co-host doesn't even know this yet, but I am gonna have to take 2 months off. ATAS is gonna have to go on a hiatus for 2 months. There's a lot of things going on. Yeah, so 2 months time, 8 weeks. That's 8 potential episodes that everybody's gonna miss out on. And you just have to realize that it's an April Fool's joke. So, yeah.
Bombshell. Oh! It's like bombshell. I'm like, what? Yo, he was going for the reaction. I was like, this gotta be some kind of, this has gotta be something. He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. Unless, like, yeah, I was just like going through all the scenarios, man. My whole mind. Yeah. Waterpulse laser, man. Like, he was like, yo, he was leaving ripples. Right? Waterpulse laser
across
like,
time and space.
Leaving ripples through time and space, man. That was nuts.
All right, but there is a very big announcement, and my co-host didn't say anything about it, but we have a very big surprise. I'm not going to spoil it yet because we haven't talked about it, but it has a lot to do with that contest that we put on, and we're kind of waiting for some things to come to fruition. And
you gotta wait for it to arrive.
Be on the lookout for that news. All right.
Wait for this to arrive. We gotta put away that little TV signal. Playing now. Playing keys. Get that production. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Switch it over.
Let him try. Look, I dumped the carrier. I was like, you know what? Can't be doing that to me, man. All of 30 seconds. Right. Get off.
Now that we're fully ready to start, let's jump into it. What book are we reading? Homo Deus by Yuval Noah Harari. This is
yes.
Chapter 7, third instance. So at the end of today's episode, you will be recapped on the first hour and 30 minutes of chapter 7. If you're following along on Scribd, we thank you, appreciate you. If you're not, for any reason, down in the description, you can get 2 months free. And if you do that, it'll give me another month. We are not sponsored by Scribd. We just think that it's a pretty good resource to have. All right.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm finding, like, other people that I've recommended it to, it's stuck in there. It's not like
suddenly, Titsy Japan's getting all these extra months. Like, you gotta, stick it out and enjoy one of the books. Any book that you like, audio. Matter of fact, if you want to just get good at guitar, you need some extra sheet music. It's in there. All right. You want to get good at Spanish? They got textbooks. Go.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's that easy. It's that simple. It's all there. It really is. It's insane how much is on that.
No need for a pen and pad to write.
All you need is a pen and a pad to write it down. Trust me. In fact, you don't even need a pen and a pad. You can do it all digitally. Go on your train, or you on your car, and was it Automobile University? Yeah. So we on Homo Deus, hour and a half through.
Automobile University.
Yeah, you know about Automobile University. That's when you commute to work, and you, getting your audio, learning, taking some notes. How long is your commute? How much space does that take from home? The distance from home to the workplace, unless you're working from home.
5 minutes.
It's a walk.
It's 5 minutes.
It's Automobile University on foot.
It's not a 5 minute walk.
It's a 5 minute drive. How far is the walk?
Podcast while I'm on my way. Yeah. About 15 minutes. 15-minute walk.
That's a good way to start the day, though. Get your what's the name?
I gotta take the child to school.
There you go. Play it together. What's Dad listening to? Baby, you're a star.
All right. I think everything is starting to congeal and catch up. So we're gonna jump right into it.
Okay.
And this is the thing. So we're talking about nationalism in this chapter. That was the first bit, talking about nationalism, talking about basically if one nation is better than another, and a pride of being from somewhere. So I've had a lot of experiences with Jamaicans specifically, because Jamaicans are very prideful. Sorry if you're from Jamaica, but you already know what it is. If as a Jamaican descendant, I am not seen as a real Jamaican because I was not born in Jamaica. No matter how hard I rep it, no matter how often I wear the colors or how big a flag I have, I am never quite seen as Jamaican.
That's interesting.
But that brings up a question. Is one nation better than another? So I mean, you played video games, I'm well aware that you've played video games, even if you've taken it just back to Age of Empires. Yeah. So you already know, like, if I get this race, then I'll have these buffs and I'll have to overcome these trials because of it. So does that translate into real life, or is that just in the game?
The assumption that XX civilization is better than Maru civilization, right?
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's like an unspoken rule. It's like, he who has the power makes the rules. So which nation has the power? Which nation is allowed to have the power? If that nation can drop a bomb that would level everything, women, children, soldiers, hospitals, whatever, if they can do that to make a statement. Don't mess with us. And everybody else, shut up. Right?
Hush your mouth.
Hush your mouth. I don't hear nothing. Might makes right. You know, if might makes right, then you have to be the strongest military power in the world. And for two economic superpowers, or two superpowers, to have the nuclear stockpile that they have in order to make that statement, I think that they are proving the assumption that might makes right.
Might makes right.
And they're not taking the step to say otherwise. Look, we're going to put down our guns because we don't need them. Even if you use those guns, we're still better. You can't beat us. We ain't doing that. You could say that. We ain't going to do that. All right. If you talk about financial power, like, it's all backed in the American dollar, right? I'm just saying.
American dollar is trash, though.
But the whole financial system is backed on that. That's the base. So, yeah, I mean, for the stability of the world, other nations continue to do business in American dollars. And they say, all right, they bow. That bow, it could be the military might in the background, could be the economic support in the background, it could be, you know, the promise of foreign aid, you know, and you know, some of these other powers like China is coming up and saying, we got another option here. This is another, you know, thing if you side with us.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, they're not number one at this point. And it's not like the Chinese way. You have the American way, right? Americanism. At this point, we don't have Chinaism. GDP wise, China's number 2, right? You don't have Chinaism spreading culture wise. We want to be like China. You know,
it's really funny that you bring up China. I was listening to this Chinese comedian, and he was bringing up the name of China in Chinese is like medium place.
Yeah.
Right. So it
Middle
translates in English to about medium place. But America in Chinese is like best place or highest place. I'm just like, what? Like, to hear that and, you know, be on the inside living here, you know, this people are like, oh, the streets are paved with gold over there. You know, let's go over there and make a new life for us. And like, America has more than its fair share of problems. More than its fair share of deficiencies, more than its fair share of just greed. But that doesn't get out. That's not in the propaganda. You know, the propaganda is America is great, the greatest nation ever. You know, go there if you want opportunity. Go there if you want to make something for yourself. But it's like, man,
not that easy.
It's
not that easy. But then again,
I mean, socialist governments like Canada,
immigrants that I know do well in the States. You know, they do well. Immigrants come and they run the show. If they enter from university, right, then they can come in and run the show. Because I think the education system outside of the United States, K through 12, is hungry enough. Like, it makes you hungry enough, and maybe the environment also makes you hungry enough, so that if they drop you off in the United States, yes, you can become a boss of New York City. You really can. I still kind of believe that myself. I believe the hype, but it's because I got 16 aunts and uncles. They not all went to America, but including my father, like, went to America, ran the show, you know, in each of their own little industry. So better in the sense of for the individual to have an opportunity to come up and, you know, go for the American dream. If that's a dream worth chasing, and they have opportunities to come at that point in life, it's not the worst. It's definitely not the worst option. You go somewhere else, it's like a closed society, and just be pegged in that one kind of spot. But if it's okay to be pegged in that one spot, and you know, you don't have to chase after this and after that. Like, if you don't feel that need or that push, the push and pull factors, then it really doesn't matter where, you know, you rest your head. You know, it's in Japanese, sumeba miyako. Sumeba miyako. If you live there, it's the center of the world. It's the center of your own world, you know. And it's like
there's an English saying was like, grow where you're planted. You know, but then in Spanish, well, Mexican culture, it's the phrase "brilla en el sitio donde estés." So shine wherever you find yourself.
Oh, say that one more time.
Brilla.
Brilla.
Like
brilla.
Brilla.
Okay. Brilla. Okay. Brilla.
Brilla en el sitio.
En el sitio.
So in the site. Yes.
En el sitio.
Donde
mujer.
Estés.
¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estés?
Estés. Yes.
Okay.
So it's not estás because it's a place where you will find yourself. So it's the subjunctive. Yes.
Yo, you conjugate.
Brilla en el sitio donde estés. Shine in the
Brilla,
spot where you happen to find yourself. Brilla.
Brilla en el sitio donde estés.
Just like that.
No, brilla is brilliant, right? So I got the light thing. Okay, got it. Yeah. In the site, el sitio, brilla en el sitio donde estés, where you are, man. Where you be?
Brilla.
Brilla.
You're saying like brilla, like sounds more like Italian.
Brilla.
What?
Okay.
Brilla.
So you know what?
Yeah.
So if you look at what languages everybody's learning, then it makes you feel like your nation is better than others, and you don't need to learn others, right? Americans, I'm speaking to y'all, right?
Yeah,
not you
definitely.
But Americans, like,
no. But it's crazy because I know a couple people who just went to Japan, so they just came by you. And I know somebody else who's going, and they make it seem like, oh no, I don't have to learn Japanese. You know, I can just go over there. It's like, bruh. Before I went, I made sure that I was hitting Duolingo every single day consistently for 6 months. I was like, yo, I gotta bone up. I had to know like at least basic things. How to say where's the toilet? Like, why do you think that? Why do you think that people will just know your language going into? I don't care where you go, whether it be America, you need to learn some English. Whether it be China, you need to learn some Chinese. Japan, learn some Japanese. If you're going to jump across the border to Mexico, learn some Spanish.
Why?
Because I feel like it's better to be able to communicate at that baseline level. Even if you can't talk about philosophies of education and you know the graduate and university level stuff, at the very least be able to say, hi, I need help. To me, that's or how do you say this in your language? Knowing at the very least certain signs. Well, usually signs are written in universal language, you know, of something that's prohibited with a cross through it.
Right.
But
symbols.
Knowing what a police station looks like in a certain country, that might help.
You might want to know
Little things like that. but
I mean, that's the thing. Like, people get into this little bubble where they think their own country is the center of the universe, you know. And oh well, you know, it's not necessarily the case.
Crazy.
But I mean, it really depends on the mindset that you have, right? I mean, we're talking about evolutionary humanism, you know, and you know, Bach is better than Chuck Berry.
Don't over there. Don't. You're gonna jump.
Okay.
Everything.
All right.
You're gonna jump everything, man.
I mean, you lead me into it. I feel it.
All right. So
take a zip.
I mean, I'm trying.
Okay, I'm ready.
We're gonna jump into the next subject here. That is, which is more important, experiences or feelings?
Ooh. Okay. You
So
took
I'm not gonna. I do want an answer, but I can't. I wasn't able to get all of the little names of all the different evolutionary. I mean, not the evolution, the different humanist things, but I know that the first two talk about whether feelings or experiences were more important. I just want to capitalize on that quick.
All right. Well,
So,
I mean,
in your opinion.
in my opinion, okay. The experiences or the feelings. I think that the experiences, the feelings that you have during the experience lead to the knowledge of it. Yeah, going back to last week. So if you don't explore what your feelings are as you're experiencing it, then you might end up with a memory of it quite different from what someone else was going through when they experienced that thing. You have to understand that that's the subjective part of it. What you're feeling, what you're seeing, you only seeing your perspective, which seems so mundane. But even if two people are looking at the same thing, he's looking at it from over there. I'm looking at it from over here. And where I am psychologically right there, you know, it's not the same place he's going to be. He's probably worrying about dinner. You know, she's probably worried about what she's going to make. You know, he's probably worried about what he's going to say. You know, and all that anxiety and all those feelings right there inform the experience, because he might not really be in that spot to just like really take it all in. Or he may have previous experiences that, you know, I've seen this before. I know this before. I know this pattern. I can recognize it and take it to the next level. So which is more important?
No,
being aware of your feelings as you experience life.
No, don't give me a cop-out answer. No, that's a cop-out answer. The whole time you were leading up to like, oh no, they're both equally important. Come on, man.
Okay, well, I'll take the gender route. I'm gonna take the gender route because I just went through a sermon the other day, and it was about man. Man is genderless. Like, it's just like spirit. No, spirit. The spirit.
I was about to say, man is genderless.
No, hold on. Let me say it correctly. So when they talk about in Genesis where man is created, when we say man is created, it was like a spirit was created, you know, and that doesn't have a gender. But then you say male and female, he created them. Now he's splitting that into like physical flesh, and you know that part of the argument. So then, you know, to split the spirit into these two kind of halves that complement each other in a perfect way. There are certain things that one side is more inclined to embrace, the way that society is set up and the way that the body is set up, to take things in, feel it, and then send it back up. Whereas the other side is more inclined, just by the way things is to push towards and to attack from different angles, to look at it from different angles and try to understand and explore and see what that is. More inclined to do that, just the way that our bodies are set up, our minds are set up, the whole focus of that. This is what the sermon is about. So I don't know if experiencing is the word for it, but the feelings associated, like that my better half, the way that she feels through experiences and the way that I think about experiences combines to make the true experience. So are her feelings more important than mine? No, I value them very highly because they inform something in ways that I can't quite see. I haven't been allowed to up until now. So I'm still like struggling to figure out what I'm feeling. So I let her feel it for me and let the song cry.
Calm down.
Got to. I got to bring it back because they're looking at me like, oh, this guy's a philosopher. And I'm like,
no.
I'm the stone.
Shut up. Ew, hush your neck. Anyway, I believe that the experiences are more important. And the reason I believe that is because sometimes we are afraid of the experience. So if we let our feelings get in the way, then we'll never experience anything. You know, growing up, or parents are always, oh, you can't go over so-and-so's house because I don't know their parents. I was like, well, if everybody did that, then nobody would know anybody. You know, nobody would ever have that experience. And that was always my thing. Like, don't make the excuse of something trivial. Like, say, you know what, I would like to talk to Johnny's parents before you go stay the night. Because then that seems more open. Not like, I'm super afraid because I don't know them, so you can't have this experience.
Okay. All right.
Like,
so you
preaching. Like, that's something scary for a lot of people. Public speaking is very scary for a lot of people. But if we don't get past that feelings barrier, we never have the experience. Look back on our life and be like, yeah, I sat in a blank room because I was afraid to do anything. You know, there's ticket stub culture. You know, where you collect all your ticket stuff, like, oh, I've been to this place, I've been to this concert, I've been to this. And you just collect these things because you're like, whoa, I went to go see this movie on opening night. You know, I remember when I saw Avatar, you know, back in West Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah.
You know, on an IMAX screen. And we had Japanese snacks that we snuck into the theater. Like, having that experience is way better than, you know, oh, okay, I was afraid to go see the movie because, you know, blue people aren't natural.
So
you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. It feels like when the way that you're defining feelings is preconceived notions of what something's going to be like, and fear or you know, whatever, like, associated with that thing. Whereas experiences, the way you're saying experiences, and it does say the experiences in the banner, folks that are watching or listening on Spotify, talking about the experiences or versus
the feeling.
Yeah. The experience or the experience points. Like, when you look back and look at the accomplishments or achievements, that's the list. Tick, done. It was done, regardless of how I felt about it going into it. But I guess my perspective about feelings is like, okay, so how did you feel about what you were going through at that time? You know, sneaking into the theater. You know, how did you feel as you were going through the movie? How did the movie itself make you feel at that time? You know, not in nostalgic, like, present day, but in current day. Were you nervous about it because of the, you know, the fact that it wasn't okay to go watch these, you know, blue people, and, you know, they might be demons or something, you know? Did it feel like you're doing something naughty? I don't know.
Oh God! you too many references. Like, nobody watching is or listening is gonna get half of these references. Like, I'm over here just like, I know exactly where that's from. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
doing a lot right now. But I just see it as you don't want to cap yourself off because of I mean, if you want to equate it, the preconceived notions, but that's not technically true, because we all have a kind of, we envision what the experience is going to be. And it may not live up to the hype, but you go through with it anyway. That's different from saying, I'm afraid, so I'm not going to do it. Or I'm completely confident about this, and then you go into it and mess up the experience because you think you know everything. If you go into a college classroom, like, all right, I was the best in my high school in this subject, I already know this is down pat, this is going to be a breeze. And you go into with that mentality, you're not going to learn anything. The experience is going to be wasted on you.
That feels very similar to what happens with food. It's like, oh, I heard this and that and the other about that thing, and then when I see it, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna eat that. You want mine here? I'm not gonna eat that. Ew, you gonna eat that for me? Go ahead.
Taste it? Did you even experience
it yet? Even taste it yet, man? Come on, no. I don't even want. See, I won't take food from somebody when they say, like, you want this? Like, no, I don't. All right, I would take it if you gave it to me, just like, oh, would you like mine? I'd really like to, but do you want this? Like the way that you package it, the feeling that you given me about that thing before eating it is just like, it's poison. I don't want something that you go act like it's poison. Even if I know that it's not, and I know that it's going to be good, it tastes nasty after somebody just talk down to it like that.
Only the experience. Okay, so I gotta ask a real big question, because in America, takeout is a thing. Like, you don't finish at a fancy restaurant. They package it up for you in what's called a doggy bag.
A doggy bag.
All right. Okay, fine. Not a doggy bag. A to-go plate.
Okay? No. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with doggy bags.
Okay, all right, because I don't want you to be like,
No, I have an experience. I have an experience when I worked as a waiter. And someone's like, oh, this is really great. Can I take some home for my dog? I was like,
no.
No. This is
I'm taking
sushi,
it home for me.
This is sushi. Like, this is, first off, it's raw. You don't want to bring raw, food home, period. But, just be like, oh, I'm going to feed it to my puppy in the car. No, this is not dog food. I didn't make dog food. I didn't have my chef make dog food. You could take your doggy bag, your empty doggy bag, and don't.
Chill out.
No, but go ahead.
But
so you had a question.
Pre-COVID.
Yes.
So 2012, like when I was over there, and before
2012.
Sorry, 2019. My bad.
Oh, way back. You were a preconceived notion
too
at
far
that
back.
point. Yeah.
I was too much across time and space.
Oh no, you were a preconceived notion. It just you yourself had not become the physical manifestation of.
I had not had that experience yet. So I mean, well, in 2012, let's just take it that far back. Way before I came over.
Okay.
Was takeout or taking home leftovers a thing in Japan?
Omochikairi existed, but that's like you go to your Wendy's and you bring the food home. Like I'm not eating it there. Okay. That's takeout.
That's why I said with my.
That was the first question.
My when I was setting up the question, I said you go to a fancy restaurant. So this is not
Wendy's isn't
takeout.
Fancy. Oh my god. Okay.
It's just in. Wendy's is not fancy.
Oh my god, Wendy's is fancy.
But you go to a sit down restaurant. It's dining. Whether it be at a bar, or at tables. If you go to a izakaya, sorry, and you are expecting to take food out. If you go to okonomiyaki place and you're expecting to take like your portions out, like, oh, I didn't finish half of this okonomiyaki, I want to take it with me.
Did you? Was that a thing?
Was that
you
a
could
thing?
do?
Yes.
これをお持ち帰りにできますか？いいですよ or ダメですよ. Yeah, you know, you could. I never did. Because that's like if you're a visitor from another country, another world, you just don't know the customs of Japan. Like you're supposed to experience it there.
If you've been isekai,
then they do have containers, you know, at most respectable.
But the thing is that when you go out and you eat, especially in Japan, you're not paying for the food itself. You're paying for the experience of being in the restaurant, the experience of being around or close to the chef, or if you're at the bar at a sushi place, like you're in front of them, like watching, like, ooh, all right, slice that, chop that, like that's the experience. So it's like, no, you're not gonna take this home and shove it in your microwave and warm it up and have my name sullied because you want to have a quick bite. You know, go to the conveni if you want that.
Yeah. You wouldn't go to a fancy restaurant and just be like, and you having a meal and just, all right, can we wrap this up? Getting out of here. I mean, you're not supposed to. You could.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to. It's bad manners. It's still bad manners. You know, put this in a doggy bag for my dog. Yeah, it's bad manners.
Oh, chill out.
Unfortunately, when you're working in the service industry, you remind yourself this is the service industry, and customer is always the customer.
Is king.
Customer is a customer. You know, they're a visitor. They're a guest. Be my guest. Go ahead. If you want to leave my restaurant with the food, go ahead. Got my face. You know, there are no tips in Japan either. So, you know, you make them feel good there. You make them feel good there, and you provide the experience, and let them go. Ichigo, ichie.
Yeah.
You know about that one?
It's Ichigo, ichien.
1 yen for one strawberry? No.
That's what it sounded like you said. Ichigo, ichien. I was like,
no, I'm gonna. That might be my first calligraphy for the year, because just for that. But Ichigo, ichie. All right, Ichigo, ichie means one meeting, one experience, like one picture, one chance. You know, you basically get one chance to leave an impression on somebody, and that's it.
First, and then you get one chance to make a first impression.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like every impression at that time is the only one, you know. Ichigo, ichie, right? You get one thing from that experience. Give one thing in that experience, and when it's over, it's over.
That's it.
It's okay. Yeah.
See that. All right. So I wanted to jump in and talk about slavery and talk about how people equate slavery to Holocaust and all of that. I mean, we're already running long, but the thing about the reason why people equate slavery to Holocaust is because of the oppression. Usually it's not to say that, oh, you know, it was the same exact thing, but it's to draw parallels between the two. But I'm gonna bring up this quote real fast.
Got a full quote here.
So this is in single quotes because it is kind of paraphrased. I couldn't catch it all in the moments that I was listening. But in this chapter, something to the effect was said, according to evolutionary humanism, if anyone states that all human experiences are equal, they are either an imbecile or a coward. And that just had me thinking, you're never going to be able to precisely experience what somebody else does, and vice versa. Nobody's going to be able to experience precisely what you have gone through, to walk a literal mile in your shoes and body and experience. It's not going to happen. But the shared experiences that we do have and those things that are alike are very important because they help to bring us together. I will say that President Trump is a greater man than he will ever know, because he brought the country together in such hatred of him.
Not so
there's
much.
people who supported him in that time, but there was also a lot of people who came together who did not support him. So there's just a lot there to have the hatred of someone bring people together. We've also seen it with the KKK. These experiences will not ever be the same. My experience growing up Black in America is not your experience growing up Black in America. They will not ever be the same. But those parallels that we can draw, those are the things that bring us together. The things that are outside of race, like, hey, I was picked on as a kid. Oh, well, so was I. Those are things that help bring us together and help us to not to see it as so much as us versus them, or you will never know my pain, but to say, you know what, we're actually alike.
Now you saying something that makes me want to call us out, and if I do that, I don't know if I'm gonna get you in trouble. I don't know if it'll get you in trouble.
No.
But if I say, it's like, I don't know, if BLM is a hot word, and if you say it aloud, like, you're gonna get kicked off YouTube.
No, what I said about the former president would probably get me in more trouble than that.
Well, I don't know. He's being indicted right now. But they were saying that actually is going to help him in the primaries. They were saying that that's going to help him in the primaries because the charges are like a technicality, and the attorney general, like, it's like they basically, the prosecuting. What's it called? Yeah. Anyway, the state prosecutor, like, he can choose which cases to, move forward or not move forward. And they're choosing to move this one forward at this time, right after he announces his
district attorney.
Yeah, he's deciding to move forward on this one right now.
It's gotta be
but he said 2 weeks before they said that they were going to prosecute him or indict him on these charges, he said, I'm about to be indicted on some charges over some stuff that happened years ago, and they're going to make all this noise, and it really doesn't mean anything. And then they, and then 2 weeks passed, and nobody said nothing. They were just quiet, like a field mouse. And then he just played right into his little trap. Okay, so it's going to be indicted. So what does it mean? At the end of the day, some rich guy paid off somebody, to stay quiet. Yeah, he did it. They know he did it, but they can't prove that had a material effect on the last election. So they're trying to make a material effect on the next election by bringing it up now. They could have brought it up anytime. They bring it up now. They said it's going to help him.
Because if he beats the charges, that's it. That's all he needs to slingshot. Like, they tried to keep me down, but I'm back. Boom.
Yes. Americans love an underdog story. What are you doing?
Yo, that's it.
Dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. Right?
All right.
But his experience, right? His experience, as a rich person getting off the hook because of rich privilege. I call it rich privilege.
Ooh, rich privilege.
Yeah. It's like we almost take it for granted at this point.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, like there's a whole swath of the of the population of the world that's dying in numbers right now, like numbers that you wouldn't believe. Nobody seen these people. I mean, nobody over here seen these people, and nobody over here is gonna miss these people. Like, but and it's like, I guess the amount of time and the amount of energy and the amount of social policy and all that stuff that's been invested into people's lives. Does that make the value of their lives greater than the lives of people who haven't had the investment of their society and, time, effort, smarter time and effort? Like, does it make their lives more valuable in the grand scheme of things? When you think about yourself as the result of the American education system and the amount of sweat and tears and everything that went into building that, like, are you more valuable a person than someone who has not? Should not be that way. But it feels like if you go overseas as an American and you are detained or you are a spy or called a spy, the guy in China right now, journalist. Huh? Was it China? Yeah. Not China, Russia. Russia,
definitely Russia.
Yeah, it's first time since the Cold War. This young man has been called a spy. He's just a journalist, but it's because they're using Cold War tactics. But guess what? He's an American. Because he's an American, everybody's got their eyes on him. Like, okay, it's on the news. Bringing attention to it. He's worth the attention, right? But or a little boy, 3 years old. It's a sad story, very sad. He died over there on the Edogawa River in Ichikawa, where I used to live. His parents brought him out there to see cherry blossoms. Lost track of him 1 second. Kid went in the river, lost. Everybody's looking for him, looking up and down for this one kid, 3 years old. He's gone now. Sad story. But there are a lot of 3-year-old kids that don't even get the story and the media attention. Why? Like Japanese media, when they cover, like, there was a shooting overseas. No Japanese were involved in this incident. No Japanese lives were lost in this incident.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's the national, like, thing. Like, all right, your nation's people are worth more attention than other people because they're like you. They have the shared experiences that you were just saying, right? Is everybody's, do all lives matter? Or do, enter the group that I'm a member of, lives matter?
I see. Yeah. There's a lot there. There's
a whole lot there. You said freestyle. Man, I can't even drop my mic.
Yeah.
Hang it.
We're going to have to wrap it up because you can't drop the mic with an arm like that.
Arm is long.
We're going to have to wrap it up because, we're going almost double time. I want to try to keep it at 30, but it just almost never happens.
I'm asking the questions.
The discussion gets a little too deep.
Hit us up in the comments section.
We want to hear from
you.
Hit
us up in the comments section. Definitely. Keep the conversation going. This is just a start.
Yeah. This is just to wet the whistle. The main event is everyone listening, throwing in their ideas and keeping the conversation going. Because honestly, we cannot go over everything in what little time we have, but we'd love to hear from you, whether it be the live comments on YouTube, whether it be the comments on the videos after the fact. Definitely make sure contact us. I don't think Spotify
contact us. Tell us what you think.
Section.
Tell us what you think.
And if everything was good, tell us everything was good. If something was bad, let us know. Like, we're here to we're not in the service industry, but we want to hear from you and we want to take your suggestions into account. Definitely.
Oh yes.
So
if we stimulated your mind, say, let me open up this book, see what's going on here. You do that. Or you just get yourself a pen and a pad and write it down. Click, click, click. All right. It's your boy TPC Japan. I think that's what it is, baby. Baby.
You already know. It's your boy Ace of Cross Culture saying until next time, stay prayed up. Be blessed.
Ning.